guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button. If you like them even more, please subscribe. Yes, I support the NSPCC, which stands for the National Society of the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. It's a very good cause, a worthy charity. And sometimes abused children can't speak out and they need help and support to tell what's going on in their lives, and for people to actually notice abuse and help them. Actually phoning up and mentioning that you think a child is abused is not grassing. It could save more children's lives because abuse goes unnoticed, especially behind closed doors. So when somebody hears a scream or some kind of commotion, it's better to, not interfere, I would say, point it out, and if it's nothing, it's nothing, but if it's something, then it's something. So, Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 9:36 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Sunday the 14th of August.
And Alexa, what's the weather like?
Right now in Rochester, it's 25 degrees Celsius with mostly sunny skies. Today's forecast has partly sunny weather, with a high of 32 degrees and a low of 18 degrees.
Right guys, what's happening at the moment is my mother Jennifer just rang about 20 minutes ago. My son had a long journey from Gloucestershire driving in the car late at night, and he's tired and he's resting. He didn't get to mine till nearly 3 in the morning. And then we both went out in the car for a quick car journey. He wanted to show me his car, etc. And we drove around the streets of Chatham and Gillingham. And we even nearly went to Wigmore. The thing was that my son was going to take me to McDonald's to get something to eat. However, Max started barking. He never normally does that. I've trained him not to do that. But when my son came to visit me, because he doesn't see my other son very much, Max started barking. So we both thought it was a good idea to not let the dog bark in the early hours of the morning and take the dog along with us to the journey. So my son took me out in his car, and Max was in the passenger seat with me, safe, because I had my seatbelt on over me and him. And it's amazing what people are about at nearly 4 in the morning. It really is. Looking out the windows, people coming out of nightclubs. Somebody had a massive pizza about that big and was walking along the road with it drunk across the road, a great big pizza box with a massive pizza in it. I'd eaten, my other son had taken me to Costa Coffee, and I had a bacon and sausage wrap. We also went to visit my old abode, which was Lansdowne Court, and Marcus was parked outside the bins. The guy called Marcus that used to live there. And as my son and I drove back down, Marcus left behind us. He was outside. So we just had a quick drive around in the car. We didn't buy anything, didn't get anything to eat, and came back home. And that is where I am now. And we're not talking about my mother Jennifer. My mother Jennifer hasn't got any sons. My mother's son was Dylan, who died before he was 2 months old. So these are my sons, they're not Jennifer's sons. Jennifer hasn't got any sons. She lost her son in 1967. I've got 3 sons, all of now of which really have grown up, and a daughter, and she's in her 20s. I've got no young kids. And you certainly wouldn't take a young child outside in the early hours of the morning, would you? unless it was you was trying to get your baby to sleep, and that I do understand. When you've got a very small baby and it keeps crying, sometimes you would take it out in the car to help it get off to sleep. So I understand that, guys. I've been there and done it. So honestly, we came back and my son helped me, kept talking to me about what's going on in my life. I told him that my mother rings 3 times a day, that she keeps going on in the past about my dad. She won't visit my dad's memorial plot, and she's trapped like indoors all day and she doesn't get out. She just keeps phoning me. So my mum rang me this morning. Obviously my son is still tired. I told him to stay and rest. She just like sounded out of breath, like she couldn't breathe properly, like I've written in diaries ages before. And she said, I'll hopefully see you next Thursday. So there we are, there's that. That's that. So I've seen both my sons yesterday, both of them. I have 3, I still haven't seen my youngest one yet, which I look forward to seeing in the future. But these aren't my mother's children, they aren't Jennifer's children, they're her grandchildren, they're my children. The only child my mother has got left is me, and I'm 53, because my mother Jennifer is 77, so I am 53. My children are in their 20s, right? I'm 53, my children are in their 20s, my mum is 77, my child is her, is me, and I'm 53. Got it? Good. So earlier on, upstairs was being a complete prick and idiot. It's really childish, disgusting, vile behaviour from an adult, and his kids were running up and down the ceiling. But they haven't woken my son up, he's fine, and I'm taking no notice of it. After my mum rang me, a nice coloured family parked outside their flat at Ines Apartments in a nice like blue car, the same shape as my neighbour's Ford Mondeo, but a brighter blue colour and a newer car. So they were out there with their cap. One of them had their caps on, their baseball cap, and they were probably getting ready to go out. And he started going, and it's very off-putting. It's prompting, and I don't want to get cross. I'm happy. I want to spend a nice weekend happy. I don't want any arguments. And if I haven't got much money and there's not much to eat, then so be it. But I'm not going to get cross about it. I'm not going to start like robbing banks because I haven't got very much. Do you know what I mean? It's boiling hot out there. It's absolutely stifling heat. Alright, it's very, very hot. Hello, Nikki. Good girl. I spent most of last night and early this morning writing up my diary. That's somebody laughing. They're entitled to laugh. They laugh. You know, I laugh. When I see an idiot walking across the road being stupid, I laugh. We don't know what they're laughing at. You know, their life is happy, which is good. It's better than crying, isn't it? Or shouting at somebody. That's the way I look at it now. So my mum said, see you next Thursday, hopefully. Well, one never knows what happens to anybody, do we? It's not only just me, it's other people, isn't it? So I've made my coffee, I'm going to have my banana, and I'm going to take things easy. I went out yesterday, I went to the co-op, here we are, last night, and these are some of the things I got, which was a feast lolly, and a yuzu drink, and some sausage rolls. Right? And what does it say at the top? Rochester Riverside. Does it say Chatham? Does it say Durrell Gardens? No. It says Rochester Riverside last night at 8:47 in the evening, when it was starting to get dark. Right? So my other son phoned me by WhatsApp audio last night to tell me that he'd been sick, he'd had a headache and he wasn't very well, because I was concerned about him. He drove off yesterday and he had a headache. And you've got to watch out for heat exhaustion, and the air is so dry and the ground is so dry that we're obviously going to suffer from water shortages and drought conditions. Right? Years ago they used to tell you to shut off your sprinklers and your hose pipes. There used to be hose pipe bans years ago. This is, I would say it's unhealthy for the heat to carry on this long, because it's not normal summer weather now. This is global warming. It's not healthy, it's not nice. It makes the air smell smelly, dry, and it makes food go off quicker. It's not nice to be this heat all the time, right? It's horrible. And for older people and children, it can make you irritable, sick, and nasty, you know. And a lot of arguments happen in the heat. That's why the taxi driver got cross with me and my mother the other day. He was angry. People are short-tempered in hot weather. They lose their temper easily. So you have to, let them cool down and not get irritated yourself, because that's when it all goes wrong, when you start shouting at each other and, things get broken. Right, guys, so I've got to take Max out for a walk. It's really, really hot. I've had enough days out to last me a lifetime. I've got plenty of food. I've got plenty of drink. Anybody laughing, thinking that I'm being treated like some kind of slave and being tortured is totally wrong. I am now going to carry on with the rest of my day, and if everyone wants to laugh, that's good. Keep it up, and I'll see you later.